Stuff you see in movies, strangers meet and sparks fly. It happened to single mom Catalina Rosas at a restaurant in Boca Raton, Florida, when she met Eric Benson, a businessman and world traveler. Catalina thought she had met the man of her dreams, but it turned out it was all a lie. We will meet Catalina in a minute, but first, watch this.
He was across the bar, and I spotted him right away, and it was like, wow, who is this guy? Beautiful blue eyes and well-dressed, and he had an air of confidence about him. And he was just so charming. I mean, he had me at hello. He said he was an art dealer and a commodities and trader, and that he'd been traveling the world. A few days later, he texted me and invited me to go and spend a Sunday at the Boca Resort with him. One day, he asked me to go sell gold, and he'd give me a 20% commission. And I did say, well, why do you want to pay me $2 grand to do something you can do? He said, darling, because I will make, 10 times that amount in the hour it would take me to do while I'm trading, for my clients. He sold me like 24 gold coins and $1,200 each. And I gave him cash for that. But then after that, I ended up giving him more money. So like 2 years after meeting him, he said to me, darling, your financial advisor has done nothing for you over all these years. I can't believe it. You need to give me that money. I can trade it for you and make you 10 times that. A week later, he's like, hey, I made you $6 grand in 5 days. So I logged in and it was like, wait, no, that's 6,000 less. So I texted him. I'm like, no, you lost me 6 grand. That's when I went ahead and just called E-Trade and found out that Eric Benson was not my trader, and I had to change the password, get a lot of more levels of security there so he couldn't get into it. My real financial advisor, he said, Catalina, please go have your gold tested. I went, I had it tested. It took them 5 seconds to tell me it was fake, which was just a terrible moment. You realize that 2 years of your life had been a complete sham, that you were literally sleeping with the enemy.
Wow, right? Please welcome Catalina. Thank you for being here. So first of all, I love Keith from National Securities. That's your actual financial advisor.
Yes, he's the person who got me out of it. He's
the one who said, for the love of God, please have the gold tested.
Yes, the man who tried to get me not to sell the gold in the first place. And he was the first man to say, Catalina, it's just money. He didn't judge me after all of that. So I really very grateful.
He's a hero in your story. Of course,
he is.
Eric is the CAD. And you, before Keith said, go have your gold tested, did you have a red flag on Eric?
Yes.
What were they?
A lot of red flags. The last few weeks, he had I think he was desperate for money. So he got me to give him the rest of my money for E-Trade. And then he started losing me a lot of money on E-Trade. And he started to he was away more and more. He was supposedly inventing this gadget. And so he was talking about this gadget the whole time. And so he was away on the weekends, taking the gadget to farmers markets, and just away a lot. And the E-Trade thing really just set all of the alarms.
He said he got you money and he lost you money. What about, did he introduce you to family and friends?
Never. I never met anyone he knew, but he always had a great answer, like, oh, darling, they're in California, and, I've been in Singapore or Hong Kong for 8 years, so I'm just coming back to the U.S., and I'm always busy with my golfing dinners and making thousands of dollars for my clients, and off to Jupiter and off to here.
Is it true that you also, he got you to get your son to invest with him?
Yes, that was when he messed with my son. That's when he crossed the line. Yes, he met him only like 2 or 3 times, and he started bombarding him with texts and emails about gold, And my son, who was 24 and was about to go to Australia for a year, was like, "Hey, maybe I should invest in gold, just to make your little nest egg bigger." And he asked me, he said, do you think I should buy some gold? I said, listen, you do whatever you need to do. I think gold is a good investment. I did it. You do what you need to do. But he trusted me because that was my boyfriend. And so for that, I feel terrible. More than what happened to me, what he did to my son is unforgivable.
But then you started to get smart, and you hired a PI, which is where things got really interesting in terms of what you would find. We're going to pick it up there when we come back. So we're here now with Catalina Rosas, who discovered her boyfriend of 2 years, who she met in a restaurant, was not who he seemed. He had given her a fake name, and now he is charged with fleecing her and her son out of more than $50,000. So you're not a rich woman. What do you do for a living?
I'm an interpreter, a freelance court interpreter. I love my job, but yes, I am not a rich woman.
Yeah, $50,000 hurts.
Yes, it definitely does.
So you start to figure out there's something sketchy going on. You hire a private investigator. Then what?
Yes, and then I contact the Secret Service. And I got really lucky because I got this agent who's young and just helped me so much. He went far and beyond what he had to do. Went to all the places that I told him that Eric would frequent, like country clubs and restaurants, and he would leave his card, and the PI would leave the flyer. And that's what they did for like a month or two. But there was no sighting of him, and I started to lose hope, and I thought maybe he'll never be caught, and that really hurt.
Okay, so we jumped ahead of ourselves because you got the Secret Service involved. They were involved because it was false gold coins.
Yes, like counterfeit, yes.
But we were back before the break at the moment when you realized the gold coins were fake. This man you're dating is a fraud.
Yes.
And what did you do? Because there was a moment there where you had some redemption when you were dealing with him.
Yes, a little redemption. Before he knew that I knew, I was still texting him like normal, like, hey, darling. And I said, hey, I need to sell 4 coins. I wanted some money back. I said, should I sell them through you? And of course he said, yes, through me, because he couldn't have me go anywhere else because they were fake. So I said, yeah, I need $5,000. And he tried to dissuade me. I insisted. So we met at a bar, and he gave me $5 grand. And that was the last time I saw him, but it was just such a great feeling getting $5,000 and me giving him fake coins.
Yeah, you the con man.
Yes, I love it.
Then you find out you were not the only one.
Yes.
Who else was in his life?
Well, there was another girlfriend. I don't want to mention her name. I met her, actually, and I found a lot of things through her, like his real name, which is Blayne Frederick. He's from he grew up in California, but he's from Canada. Comes from a very wealthy family, from what I hear, so he had no need to do this. He's a sociopath with no empathy and no regard for anyone but his own.
Wow. So you and she added up about the facts about him.
She helped me out.
Was he doing the same stuff to her with the gold coins and the investments?
He tried, but she's wealthy. She didn't fall for that because she didn't need to do any of that. So, okay. But he mooched off of her for 3 years because she had a beautiful house in Boca, beautiful house in the Northeast. So he would go with her in the summers when I thought he was traveling to Hong Kong and Singapore doing art deals. He was mooching off of her house.
How many women do you think
he
did this to?
Recently, a couple months ago, a detective called me and said another woman from Palm Springs, Florida, had come forward with the same scheme with gold. So I know there's her. I know there's the other lady whom I met. He didn't actually steal from her, but he used her. Me, my son, and...
Who knows?
And who knows?
He's charged now in jail. He's in jail charged with grand theft, over 20,000, grand theft, and many others. His public defender did not give us a comment, given that it was a pending case. But quickly, what is your message to other women out there? My message is to not be silenced by humiliation and shame. I felt a lot of that. When you're conned, when you're fooled like that, it's just not easy to take. And you're judged by family and you're judged by friends, because they see you as foolish. And I want to send the message that, these people prey on trusting people, loving people, and they're con artists. I mean, that's what they do. True sociopaths are incredibly gifted at manipulation. Yes. You should not blame yourself. They are incredibly gifted at manipulation.
That's what I'm trying to say to other people. You do blame yourself, but you shouldn't.
Thank you for telling your story.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.